Bass live Saturday night live. What's going on out there in the fishing community? How's it going? Where's my drink? Where's my drink here? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Caro. Fish in the southeast. Terry, Michael, how you guys doing? What is new? Anybody get any fishing in so far this weekend? What up, Mike? Missouri, that's a good place to be from. Wind is howling like crazy here. What up, Grandpa Woody? Good to see you, man. Michael Stake, Mike Bueller, Wild Gill. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Lots of fishing, not much catching. That's not fun. Dang. I had a good deal. After work yesterday, I went with my buddy Dean out to his father-in-law's pond. I caught 30 fish in a couple of hours out there, and he caught just about as many as well. What up, King Esgura? Julie, how you doing? Yeah, so bootleg bass is on call. No fishing. Dang. Yeah, I caught 30 fish last night, which was really fun. And then today I went out and fought the wind again, but I still had a good day. I probably caught 20, 25, something like that. And my buddy Jim went with me today, and he caught, I think he said he caught 17 today from the bank. He's a bank fisherman. Yeah, you're right, Gramps. Dean got a 7-pounder a few weeks ago with me. That was a crazy catch. It was a lot of fun. Chris, we got tons of rain. Yeah. Well, that's the way it was when I was down there in Oklahoma, man. The rain just muddied everything up. It was crazy. But heck yeah. What up, Matthew? How's everybody doing? Let's see. So today, I'll tell you about how I caught them. Last night, I was throwing a chatterbait, and Dean was throwing a square bill. And then I switched over to a Cinco. And then I switched over to a creature bait. And then I went back to the chatterbait. Most of my fish, well, I probably would have caught just as many fish finesse fishing with the worm as I did with the chatterbait. But then today I went out, and again the wind was howling, and I wanted to try a new bait from 10,000 Fish. This is it right here. It's called the Shimmer Swimmer 2.0. I think I may have shown you guys this the other day. I don't remember if I did or not. It comes in a 4-pack. I went through all of them. It has the tail inverted, so it sticks up like this. And then they have a foil insert. That's what this thing here is, this shiny thing, this foil insert. It's supposed to give it a little bit of flash. This color is called natural, and it looks pretty natural. So I tried this particular bait. I put it on a spinner bait. I put it on that gym blade that you get from Fish Tools, from the Fish Tools box from Jewel Baits. So that's basically just a spinner bait with no skirt on it and made to put a swim bait on. So I caught fish with it on the swim bait, no problem. Then I put it on the chatterbait. And a couple of things about having it on the chatterbait. I probably caught more fish with the chatterbait with this thing on the chatterbait than I did anything else. But there was a couple of things this thing does that I did not care for. With the inverted tail, it kind of makes the bait ride up a little more, I think. It also, I don't know why this would be. Maybe some of you guys would know. But it seemed like fishing this on a chatterbait, this inverted tail made it more subtle. Hey, Callaway, what are you doing, buddy? It gave it a much more subtle presentation in the water, which I did not like because I was trying to make a lot more racket and commotion. And I get, as much as I've thrown a chatterbait, I guess I've never had a trailer that made my chatterbait chatter quieter, if that's a thing. It was kind of strange. So Chris, that is kind of the only difference I noticed. It didn't make a difference on the spinnerbait at all, and it didn't make a difference. I also just put it on this swimbait head. This swimbait head is a Z-Man swimbait head. I really like these Z-Man swimbait heads. It didn't seem to matter at all. What are you doing? Say hi to you. Because I wanted to say hi to you. So I don't know. Now there are a couple of things about this bait that I don't like. And I'm going to show you up close here. See that? See how that has torn open? This thing has this foil strip in here, and the foil strip, there's a hollow cavity in there for the foil strip, which seems fine. You would think, yeah, of course, there's a foil cavity, or there's a cavity in there for the strip of foil. It actually makes it real easy to thread your hook through that. That part I liked great. And the bait's really durable. This part of the bait, fantastic, super durable. No matter how many fish I caught on it, no problem. But here's the weak link. Up here at the head, because of this foil cavity and the shape of the head, I noticed that this kept splitting open on me. And it didn't matter whether I put it on the spinnerbait or I put it on the chatterbait or I just put it on this head. It splits open there. So then what I did is after it split open, I cut the head off and then re-threaded on, with the head missing. And it worked, but when you cut into it, you've still got the open cavity and you get some resistance from the water. So as good as this bait worked in the water, that's the one flaw. It worked great. I caught tons of fish on it, but I think they're going to have to rethink that. It doesn't seem very durable. But I really like it a lot. Booster says it's a manufacturing fault. Delamination. Well, call it what you want. I don't know. Now, they also came out with the Shimmer Shad 2.0. I haven't fished with these yet. They got the little tickle tail on the end. And they've got that foil strobe strip in there. I think I think these will be decent as well. I really like the Shimmer Swimmer, so I hope that that little issue doesn't become a permanent issue, permanent problem. Yeah, Lucas, that's not a bad idea actually. I do have Mend It with me. I keep it with me. I didn't even think about that today, but I should have. Yeah, Kick Your Bass. There's only 4 in the package, and they're pretty big. They're 4¼ inches long, and like I said, they're super durable. I think you could go all day long on a 4-pack easy if you didn't have this little thing going on. Booster's delamination. You can see the foil in there. But the plastic is not, it's durable. It's not crappy, cheap plastic by any means. So that was kind of interesting, to say the least. Let's see, what else was I going to fill you guys in? It's been a while since, yeah, they're not Elastic. No, they're definitely not Elastic. So I've had some crazy things going on in the with my kayaks. I don't know how many of you guys kayak fish. I know a few of you that do, like Chops Bearded, I know does. But I've been experimenting with a lot of different kayaks over the years. I started out with a Jackson Coosa, which I like quite a bit, but that was before the pedal drive, so I got rid of it. And then I tried a Native Titan, and that's a great boat. The reason, in fact, I loved everything about that boat except the steering. The steering sucks on the Native Titans. I don't know if they fixed that or not. So I got rid of that, and I bought me a Hobie Pro Angler 14. I loved that boat. It was great. But then they started having problems on the 360 drive, and I started having a few issues with mine. I took it in, had it repaired, and it worked. You know, I got the repair done, no problem. It was working great. But then I decided I wanted to try one with the trolling motor. So I sold the Hobie, and I got the Old Town Autopilot 120. Thanks, John. Yeah, how about that? Hit 6,000 subs this week. So that was great. Thanks, everybody, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate all the support and the love and everything else. Thank you very much. So, I got this Old Town Autopilot. Now, here's a problem. If you try a bunch of different kayaks like I have done, it creates a problem. And here's the problem. You start to find out, man, I love that feature on that boat. And I love that feature on that other boat. And I love that feature on that other boat. And guess what? You can't get all those features on a single boat. It's kind of like when I've been talking about when I did all those tackle bag reviews. I love this on this bag, and I love that on that bag, and I love this on that bag, and I hate this on that bag, and I hate that. And I wish I could come up with my perfect bag. Well, that's kind of where I'm at with the kayak. It's not, there's a lot of good stuff on each boat, but none of them is perfect. None of them solves every problem. And in some ways, it would be stupid to think that you could get one that solves every problem. I hope so, fish in the Southeast. It doesn't feel like it's moving that fast, but hopefully it is. Chris, am I going to be making the perfect kayak? No, but I could probably come up with a list of the perfect kayak, but I still think even in a perfect world, you'd need 2 perfect kayaks because you've got to have one very, very light, easy to carry boat that you can move around really quickly. And then you also need one really big, stable boat that does well in rough water. That's the problem. I don't think you can come up with one boat that does both of those things very well. So I got the Old Town Autopilot that has the trolling motor in it. Love that boat. It's fantastic. It's stable. It's got a great motor. The spot lock is amazing. It's incredible. But then you have something happen like what happened to me at Grand Lake last week. The motor broke. It would not turn left or right. It would only go straight. You couldn't go in reverse. You couldn't go left. You couldn't go right. You could not turn at all. That boat does not work without a motor. You can try to paddle it. If you've got a death wish, you can try to paddle it. But it is so big, so bulky, so crazy heavy. You really cannot paddle that thing for very long. And geez, as much as I love that boat, there's a real problem if that motor breaks on you. And in this case, I was a 30-minute ride to the nearest ramp when that thing broke. I was able to, luckily, because it still worked and would still go forward, I was able to still make it work. But golly, if that thing completely shuts down, boy, that's a huge problem. So, Mr. Gambit, yeah, fishing ski boat. My buddy Dean had a fishing ski boat that we used to fish out of some, and it's okay. It's okay. But anyway, I've got basically 3 kayaks going on right now, which I'm trying to get rid of a couple of them, trying to sell them. The Hobie Lynx I got because I need a light boat. I really need a light kayak that you can pond hop with and you can take down on streams and rivers and easy to carry in and out. The problem with the Autopilot 120 and the Hobie Pro Angler 14, they're heavy. Even if you put wheels on them, they're still very heavy, and the wheels are great on a concrete ramp, but they don't do great in the backwoods if you're trying to get down to a little place to put in and put out. They don't work at all. So having the beauty of that Hobie, that little Hobie boat, is you don't have to paddle it, but it does paddle very well if you had to. It has a great pedal drive. The Mirage 180 drive goes in reverse, goes forward, turns on a dime. It's fantastic. Yeah, Matt, I have checked into that. It's super. In fact, the only problem really with the Hobie Lynx is I don't think it does well on rough water because it's just a paddle board, really. I mean, it's just like one of those standing paddle boards, but it's got a seat on it and it's got a pedal drive. Now, I've seen guys take it out on the ocean and go over the surf and stuff, but to me, it looks like you could flip it very easy. Now, the good thing about it is because it's one solid piece, you can't sink it, but you can flip it. You can flip it over. But here's the big problem with the Lynx. I've got it in the shop right now. I've only had the thing 6 months and it's already got a hole in it. The skin on that thing is so fragile compared, if you take a kayak on the water, you beat it up a lot. You really do. So, man, I love that Hobie Lynx. I just don't know what to do about the bottom. If you had a good stable boat, super light that you could pedal like the Hobie Lynx, but you don't have to worry if you hit a rock, that's the perfect light kayak in my mind. It's a great, great boat. Mr. Gambit, I have the Newport Vessels trolling motor. I have one of those. Yeah, the Bonafide, Chris. I've looked at the Bonafide, but the problem, the reason I never got the Bonafide is it didn't even have a pedal drive for the longest time. It was paddle only, and I think it was just this year that they finally came out with a pedal drive for it. And you know, it might be better now. What up, preacher? Yeah, but Bonafide is a boat I've not tried. I've not tried it. Yesterday I was in this crazy wind, and today crazy wind. And I got to tell you, that Hobie Pro Angler is incredible in the wind. It's got to be the best option for pedaling in the wind without a trolling motor. It just maneuvers superbly. It's fantastic. And there's a lot of guys who throw a trolling motor on the Hobie Pro Angler as well. I don't know. It's an experiment in progress, but I gotta do something there. Yeah, Julie, you will love the Pro Angler. It's fantastic. It is just an amazing boat. I love the Pro Angler. But the only downside to the Pro Angler, it's heavy as, oh man, it's heavy. It is heavy. So anyway, that's kind of so right now I have the autopilot with a broken trolling motor. So I basically can't use it till I get the trolling motor fixed. I've got the Lynx with a hole in it. It's at the shop getting repaired. But my Pro Angler is still water-worthy. So I took the Pro Angler out today. And that was fun. Let's see here. I got a couple of other things I'm going to be doing. These Matian guys sent me a new fishing backpack. This is one with a cooler in it. So I'm going to be doing a review on this. I'll do a review video on this. I haven't opened it yet. These are made in China. But I did do another Matian, I think you pronounce it Matian bag, on my channel. I'm amazed. I was amazed at that bag, even though it was small. Here's a couple things about these bags. Cheap, as in price. The price is really cheap on these. But the build, the material seems very, very solid. And they got so many features in these little bags you wouldn't believe. And I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything, but I'm kind of blown away at the bang for the buck that you get on this. If you're looking for a cheap tackle bag, you might want to check these guys out. Cheap and what I think is pretty darn high quality and tons of features. What up, Shannon, Kirby? How you doing, man? Yeah, Julie, the Outback is a little lighter. I hear it's pretty stable, though. What up, Mark? Watching from work. Nice. That's the way to do it. That's the way to... Okay, I thought I'd show you guys some tackle tonight, just for the fun of... Oh, here's something cool I was going to show you guys. Steve Young, Fish Niche. I don't know if he's on these live streams ever. Steve Young, if you're on the live stream tonight, give me a shout. I don't know how many of you guys watched my Edge video. Josh, Mark ain't working. I guess that's between him and his boss. Yeah, Machek, that's exactly right. Cheap but good quality. So they make some pretty good tackle bags. Yeah, might want to check them out. All right, I did a video on this, and I said this thing sucks for one reason. Well, a couple of reasons. This is the Edge Jig and Bladed Jig box from Plano. It's pretty darn cool. If you open it up, it has these dividers in here, and you slide your bladed jigs or your flipping jigs or your football jigs or whatever in these little slots, and they're awesome. But there's two problems in my mind. One is these boxes are pretty shallow. As you can see, it's only about an inch deep. And some of your weed guards stick up higher than that, and this lid over time will mash those weed guards down, and that's kind of a problem. But there's a bigger problem, and that is these little gaps in between here where your jig heads go in. If you notice, they're all the exact same size. And why is that a problem? Because so many of your jig heads are different sizes. They are not the same size. In fact, most of your football jigs will not even fit in between these gaps. And so you can't push them all the way down, which pushes them up higher, which also means your weed guard gets mashed down. The other problem is if you have some super finesse, tiny jig heads, they won't stay in. They fall out. So one size fits all does not fit all. One size sucks. They need multiple sizes. Well, my new buddy, Steve Young, sent me an email and he said, hey, I've been making dividers. I've been making dividers for these Plano Edge boxes, and I'd like to send you some. Check these out. Check out these two here. You can see, I'll do one upside down so that I can. Look how wide he's made these. And look how narrow he's made these. Dude, this is freaking awesome. And it fits in this box perfectly. Perfectly. This is the real deal, boys and girls. Steve Young has figured out how to solve a problem that Plano has not figured out how to solve. I don't even know if they're trying to solve it. So these are great. And you can, if you have a box and you want to buy some of these from him, he has an Etsy store. I'm gonna put on the screen the web address. If any of you guys want to go check out his Etsy store, because this is too frigging cool. There it is. Etsy.com/shop/fish niche. Steve Young. Pretty dang cool. He makes them for the 3700 box. And guess what? He also makes them for the Plano Edge 3600 box, which you can't even get. You can't even get these for the 3600 size, if I'm right. Here's the 3600 ones. This is his football jig, football head that's bigger. And then this is a smaller jig head one. Dang. I was like, oh my goodness, man, this is great. Great thinking, Steve. Excellent, excellent work. So there's his address. I'll leave it on there. I'll leave it on there for a little bit longer. Yeah, Forgotten Man. I guess they don't. But that's a solution to a big problem. You're right, Chris, that these boxes are pricey. This one I paid $30 for, $29.99. I think they've come down in price. You know, the more popular they become over time, the more the price will come down. But you're right, it's probably going to stay in that $20 range, which you know, it's kind of a lot of money. Here's the other thing. What Matthew's saying? You load the sucker completely full of jigs. It's heavy. It's very heavy. So I've got another video where I took the Gamakatsu G Finesse boxes and made them smaller, and made a smaller jig box that I can take with me on the kayak or on the boat, and then I just keep these at home, and then when I need jigs out of them, I just take the jigs out. It keeps them real organized, really well, and it's pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and do a spin to win deal. Give away a prize or two. Okay, if you're new to the channel, to the spin to win game, I have this board behind me, and I'm going to ask a question. I am the sole judge and arbiter as to determining who won the question. Don't argue with me. I take the first one according to what I see on my screen, and my screen's the only one that matters. I'm going to ask a question. Usually it's about the Mr. Bass channel or about fishing in general. Could be about fishing tournaments. Sometimes it's about baseball teams, like this one right here. If you're the first one to answer correctly, you get to spin the wheel, and then you can win a prize. When we get ready to spin the wheel, I'll explain the wheel. So let me go to my questions here. Okay, this is fun. I showed you guys this on a previous video, previous live stream. What is the name of this bait? Don't tell me the company that makes it. I mean, you can tell me the company that makes it if you want, but that will not get you a win. You've got to tell me what the company calls this lure, what it calls this bait. Okay, ready? Here we go. There it is. What is that lure called? I told you guys what it was called. Oh, yeah. John got it. Congratulations, John. You're the first correct answer. It's the Swamp Bug by Crocogator. Swamp Bug. I caught a few fish on the Swamp Bug today. It definitely catches them. It's a nice little grub with a bunch of tentacles on it. You can swim it. I fish it on a shaky head a lot of times. I have the shaky heads that you can put with it that Crocogator makes. These actually go really well together, these two lures. The lure and jig head. The Swamp Bug. That's right, Frank. Mr. Bass wins all arguments. All right, I got to give John a ticket first. So when I hit 7,500 subscribers, which is 1,500 subscribers away roughly, we will be giving away something. I don't know what yet. And I've really been lazy about trying to figure out what I'm going to give away. Here you go, John. That goes in the tumbler. If you get your name in the tumbler, then you have a chance to win the prize, the 7,500 subscriber prize, whenever that is. All right. So the way this wheel works, we spin the wheel. If you land on a 1, you get 1 prize. If you land on an X, you strike out. You get nothing. Two prizes. Mr. Bass Box, you win a Mr. Bass Box. You may say, what is a Mr. Bass Box? It's a box filled with some of my favorite lures. Let's see what's in this one real quick. This box has $46.95 worth of stuff in it. It has an amazing sticker. This is priceless, by the way. You can't even put a value to that. It's got the 10,000 fish saw craw. It's got the crappie minnow from Widowmaker Lures. And it's got some jig heads to go with it. Lucky Strike jig heads. And then it has, what? It's only got one other thing. That's it? Bam! How about that? The Trace. Now, that doesn't mean you will get this one in particular because I just randomly grab one. Not all of them have Swimbaits from 6 Cents Lures in them. In fact, most of them do not have Swimbaits. But you might get something like that if you land on the Mr. Bass Box. You never can tell. No, Debo did not invent the word minnow. No, that is not a Debo thing. Okay, let's see. If you land on the Angel, you get to win a prize, and you get to select one person in the comments to win a prize as well. If you land on KVD, the world's greatest fisherman, you get a prize out of the KVD crate, which are basically just Strike King lures. And if you land on the Mr. Bass logo right here, that's the jackpot. You win 3 prizes. So here we go, John Smith. Will John win? Frolic all day. I might put a 6 Cents lanyard in one of the Mr. Bass boxes. That would be fun. Strike King. Unfortunately, John Smith does not get a Strike King lure. He gets gift cards because he lives in Canada. I used to ship out baits, but I couldn't afford it any longer. So I send gift cards, and I already owe John a gift card or two. I got to look on here and see how many gift cards do I owe John. I kind of add them up until I get to like $25 or so. This says I owe him 3 right now. So this is gift card number 4. Congratulations, John Smith. Good job. You did it. You're a wiener. A wiener for the meaner. John has his own bait shop. He might, man. John knows how to win. John definitely knows how to play the game. He's a smart cat. Very smart. Okay, so I thought I would show you guys. I got so many baits I could show you right now. I don't know how much you guys want to see of lures and baits and tackle. One of the things I haven't been doing much of lately that I used to do a lot of, which you guys have probably noticed, is unboxings. I'm kind of getting tired of unboxing these monthly subscription boxes. I got a bunch of them sitting here, though, which I can show you if you want to see some of them. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see. I want to know what that football doll is. Oh, talking about this here. It's just a little, just like it's a big wooden football dude, kind of an old school wooden football guy. That's what it is. You open it up though, and it holds a bottle, like a liquor bottle in there. Pretty wild. Just kind of an old school thing. Doesn't have any real purpose. Okay. Let me show you what's in the Dark Horse tackle box. I'll probably do an unboxing video of this too. So what I'll do is I'll show you one item out of the Dark Horse tackle box. Any recommendations on a hard-bodied swim bait? Not too big. Yeah. If you're talking like a glide bait, Machek. Yeah, right, Josh. If you're talking about a hard bait that you don't want to spend a ton of money on, I would go with the, let's see if I got one over here. Here's a pretty good one that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. The Sneaky Pete, or the Pistol Pete, is a nice hard glide bait. I've not fished it. I just bought this a couple of months during the winter and haven't fished it yet. So I haven't fished with this yet. But all the reviews I've heard is that the Pistol Pete and the Sneaky Pete are awesome. And they're really, really good. Decent pricing. So that's one you might want to try. Matthew could give you a list of other ones. The S-Waver, I think, is another great bait that you could try. In fact, you can't go wrong with the S-Waver. I was looking for an S-Waver up here because I normally have one hanging here, and I don't have it hanging. So I may have put it in the boat to go fish with. And again, the S-Waver, great price, somewhere between 15 to 20 bucks, depending upon where you buy it. Stone Man Lures in the house. What up, Pete? Now, Gancraft makes an awesome hard bait, Machek, but this bad boy is going to cost you a pretty penny. So I probably don't recommend that, especially if you're just getting started. Go with a couple of those. You won't be disappointed. Okay. Dark Horse Tackle. I was going to show you one item out of here. I wonder if there's a Stoneman Lures product in here. Nope. There isn't. Here's a package that looks like it could be a Stoneman Lures package. Who makes this thing? It doesn't even have a label or anything on it. This must be... This is a Bobby Campbell wake bait, $12. What up, Roger? Man, it was a beautiful day here today too, but dude, the wind has been insane. Stoneman Lures, I had COVID, and it made me really, really tired for like the first week. And that cough was so freaking annoying. Other than that, it wasn't bad. Okay, any of you guys know Bobby Campbell? Bobby Campbell baits. Here is his wake bait. I gotta say, I don't care a whole lot for this. Got a little pink on the back, pink eyes, black body. I mean, a black, this might be good for fishing though.